Good afternoon, everyone. Coming to you live from the coop. It's actually called Cluckingham Palace. Yeah, after a rooster my best friend gave me that was killed in action by a fox. But I come to you today to talk about memories. I have a question. First off, have you ever been in a deep conversation with somebody or a random conversation with somebody and a memory pops into your head about your loved one that had passed and the person didn't want to really listen, or they kind of just blew it off, made you feel this big, you cried about it, you thought they didn't love you no more. You went through the slew of emotions. It happens all the time. People who don't know how to acknowledge the fact that you've lost a child or a loved one, anybody really. Child seems to be really more touchy than normal. They don't want to acknowledge it. They want everything to be hunky-dory. They'll even purposely ignore you. And it's okay. It's okay. This is their way of dealing with the grief. Your way is different, obviously, but their way is not acknowledging it. It hurts. It's painful. They don't know what to say to you when you're crying or you're upset. Sometimes they're like, and then they move on. Sorry, my turkey's attacking me. Sheev. He likes shiny things, and my phone has a shiny hook on it. Anyway, you have people who will purposely just and then move on. It hurts. It does. Or you're in the mood to talk about it, about a memory that has happened, and they're like, I don't really want to talk about it right now. It hurts because you're actually willing to be vulnerable with them and open up for once, and they've shut you down. Don't do that. Listen. If you don't have anything to say and it makes you feel awkward or weird as the person who's listening from the grieving parent or a friend or whatever it is, just listen. Don't say nothing. Hug them, love them. I mean, I've said this before on another post, but I'm getting more in depth about this. I've been shut down by lots of people. I've been shut down by my own siblings. I've been shut down by my parents. I've been shut down by my own son. You know, it happens. Sometimes they're just not in the mood to deal with it, your sadness. And but the proper thing to do is to listen. And I'm going to tell you, as a grieving parent, I've ran into lots of grieving parents now. It is awkward because even though you're grieving, you still don't know what to say to them. You're just like, I am so sorry, you know, and you'll say, oh, I can so relate. Don't say that. No, you can't. You don't know what they feel. I know I'm grieving too, my child, and you're grieving your child, but I don't know how you feel, just like you don't know how I feel. You have an idea, but you don't know for sure. You know, you don't know what their relationship was. You don't know what their last day was with that person. You don't know if they have regrets. You don't know if they're, you know, wishing they made a different choice for them. You do not know. So the best thing to do is to listen, hug them, tell them you love them. I'm always here for you. If you need to vent, I'm here. You know, everybody experiences loss differently. If the way for them to get through it is to tell you how they feel, let them tell you. I mean, you must hold a very special place in their heart for them to get vulnerable with you. I'm telling you right now, because I would not just get vulnerable with someone that I don't know. I have on accident. I don't know if it's just God's way of putting them out there and so I can just get it off my chest at that moment. I don't know. But whatever the point is, you know, just listen. And to the grieving person, don't be afraid to express yourself to anybody. The more you hold it in, the worse it's going to get. And, you know, I've tried therapy and I'm still going to go back. I felt like it was helping, but I ran into some complications and I haven't been able to finish, but I plan on going back because it was a Christian-based counseling and I enjoyed it. You know, that's my way of getting it off my chest. I will talk to my husband about it. Heck, I've talked to my chickens about it. sometimes you just got to look at your dog and say, hey, if you're going to listen for a minute, because you know they're not going to reject you. Your significant other is probably going to be your greatest partner in all of this. They're going to listen to everything you have to say. You know, I seen a friend of mine yesterday who was grieving the loss of her brother. She was shocked it was 3 years later. Carissa, I see you. I know that it's hard when it comes out of nowhere like that. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine, you know, it's a different pain. And I, on so many levels, understand your husband wiping your tears from your face. They're one of our greatest allies besides Jesus. They have the stamina and the patience to deal with us when we're losing it like that. And I say deal with us because it is a moment that you're dealing with, and you have to drop everything for it. The whole day is done, you know. So I appreciate them. And I guess in a way this is kind of an appreciation thread as well. You know, I appreciate the people who take the time. Best friends. Terry, you and I have both experienced the loss of a daughter. And, you know, your pain was years and years ago, and it's still as if it was yesterday. And I can't apologize enough for the loss of your baby. And you do the same for me. But just being able to talk to you every day, or text you and tell you, I love you, sis, because you're more like a sister to me than anything, is just an absolute abundant blessing every day. And I'm so appreciative of you, and I'm thankful for you listening to me and checking on me and being there for me. Thank you so much. I love you with all of my heart. You know, my mom, I will get on a kick of wanting, sorry, a fly was biting me. I was on a kick one day of wanting to talk about my daughter, and I know she wasn't in the mood, but she listened, and she listened deeply, and she cried with me. She didn't have to. She could have just listened, and I would have been perfectly okay with it. And in a way, it makes you feel like they understand your pain. They get it. They see it. You know, they're there. They're in the presence with you, and you're thankful for that. So this is a little bit shorter video today because I have a lot of things to do in my coop today. Just as a friend or a family member, coworker, an acquaintance, if someone opens up to you, that means that they appreciate you on some form of level. If they bring up a memory and they need to speak to you about something, listen, just listen. You don't even have to say nothing, and don't make it weird. We don't need that. We just need people who are going to help us get through and vent. One of the things I noticed was I never vented about the passing of my daughter. The only person that really knew anything was my husband and my son. Lots of people know now. The whole world is starting to know that, you know, there's so many stages of grief, and I mean, I've only touched the surface of it so far. And, you know, I plan on posting every day a little bit of here and there of these things in life that I didn't think when I was a little girl and I was fantasizing about having children, you know, like we do playing house, that I would lose my daughter. And I mean, I was very close to her, just as I am to my son. It absolutely obliterated me. And for someone to shut me down when I'm talking to them about my daughter is just kills my soul. So don't do that. Don't do that to people you love. Don't do that to friends. Don't do that to family. Don't accuse them of not having enough faith, that they're not walking with Jesus enough, because they are. They're just showing it differently. It may not be the way you know, but it's a way, and it works for them. And you just need to relax and let them be. Let them tell you how they feel. And again, feel special because they're being vulnerable with you. So I'm going to leave with this today. Be there. Make a choice to be there and be that special person in their life, and appreciate it, because you are loved. You're so loved. And if we're, like I said, if we're opening up to you, we love you dearly. And I just want to say that I thank everybody again for all the blessings and kind words that I've been receiving and the support. Eventually I'm going to turn this into Faith and Flowers, which will be like a podcast, a weekly podcast about walking on faith and grief in times of grief. Because, like I said, grief comes in many different forms. It's not just death. But that's what I'm working up to. I just have to get a following for it, so that way I can afford it all, basically. Because right now, I live with my father-in-law, with my son and my husband. We help take care of him. Eventually we'll be back out on our own, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult than it is now. I'm very blessed to be here, and I'm very blessed to take care of him, but I got to work up to that, and that's what I'm wanting to do. I'm working up to that. So appreciate all the followings, and I appreciate all the sharing, and I'm just very thankful for all of you, and I love and honor and cherish every single one of you. And I just want to leave with thank you from the bottom of my heart, from my whole family, for sharing this content. I really truly hope it helps somebody in the long run. And even if it's just to say, oh my God, I'm not the only person going through this. There are other people in the world. And maybe even find a connection that you can talk to on social media when you don't have anybody else late at night or whatever, So thank you. God bless and peace. Have a very blessed day.